am 8, and I am afraid of everything. The list of fears that keep me up at night include, but are not limited to, appendicitis, leprosy, unclean meat, foods that I have not seen emerge from their packaging, homeless people, kidnapping, milk, and sleep.
Fear is not uncommon. However, sometimes a person's fear can be so overwhelming it keeps them from living. In this selection, a young girl who suffers from obsessive-compulsive disorder and anxieties also struggles in forming close, meaningful relationships with those around her. But with the help of the right people, she is able to grow and not be as she once saw herself, a difficult girl by Lena Dunham.
In school, my best friend is my teacher, Kathy, and she lets me ask whatever I want about tidal waves and nuclear war. In school right now, we're learning about Hiroshima, and so we read Sudoku and 1,000 Paper Cranes, and I instantly know that I have leukemia. A symptom of leukemia is dizziness, and I get that when I stand up too fast or when I spin around in circles. I don't really remember a life without fear. I wonder if this is what it's going to be like forever. Well, my parents are getting worried, and so at some point, therapy is suggested. But I just want to get better, and that's bigger than my fear. Plus, both my parents have therapists, and I feel most like my parents. The first lady we see is super nice, and she lets me ask all kinds of questions. And she asks questions about me, and I get the sense she will gather all kinds of information from this, and so I make sure to put on a show. She asks me to list my 3 greatest wishes in life. A river where I can be alone. Okay, perfect. Is that everything? Yes. From this, she will know that I am not like most 9-year-olds. But I end up leaving feeling worse than when I came in. And my dad said that that's okay, that we can see as many people as I need until I get better. And so the next lady we see is really nice too, but my dad says we are just here to get a referral. And so my 3rd session is with Lisa. In our first session together, we sit on the floor. Lisa lets me ask all kinds of questions about her. It's like we're at a sleepover and she's my friend, and I have learned out that she has 2 daughters, she lives uptown, she is Jewish, and her favorite food is cereal. By the time I leave, I think she can make me better. Well, the germophobia morphs into hypochondria, which morphs into sexual anxiety, which morphs into the fear and angst of entering middle school. Lisa and I have developed words for things that I'm too nervous to say, like sexuality becomes ooh-owly, and all my crushes become him. And working with Lisa helps, but even 3 days a week isn't enough to stop the constant anxieties or fear about life in general. One day at a beauty salon with my mother, I come across an article about a woman who suffers from obsessive-compulsive disorder. Reading the article, the woman lists her life so burdened with obsessions. The description of the woman's worst day parallels my average one. I rip the article out and I hand it to Lisa, whose face crumples like this is the moment she has been dreading. Do I have to do everything myself? When I'm 15, I stop working with Lisa. I don't want to talk about my problems anymore, and she doesn't fight me on it. My OCD is not completely gone, but maybe it never will be. Maybe it's a part of who I am, a part of me, and for right now, that's okay. But within 6 months, I am skipping class entirely and not doing any of my homework. Because of my medication, I'm really tired all the time, and so I become notorious in class for sleeping. My parents think that I'm depressed, and I think that they're idiots. My dad says that we're going to see Margaret, a learning and organizational specialist who I guess I met a few times before when my dad discovered that I was taking all the homework I wasn't doing and shoving it under my bed for 6 months. In our first few sessions together, Margaret and I just spent it organizing my backpack.
She teaches me how to organize a binder, how to keep a planner and mark things off on a list once I've done with them. She's a psychoanalyst as well, but she tells me that we are not here to talk about my feelings. This is all about neat edges, prioritizing, and anyways, Margaret won't tell me anything about her life. She's super professional all the time. Well, one day I come in and Margaret is on vacation. But my medication has been giving me this really milky, sinking feeling in my stomach. And on top of all of that, my mother and I are in the worst fight of our lives. And the thing is that no one is really right exactly. And so I try calling Margaret, but because this is not technically a real emergency, I don't leave a message. I then call my aunt, who I hope will at least tell me that I'm not just a piece of garbage shaped like a human being. She tells me to call Dr. Judith Siles, a clinical psychologist and relationship expert. And for the next 20 minutes, Judith talks. This is actually a really good time in the relationship between you and your mother. I know that if you two can get past this, you can become stronger in your relationship. Well, Margaret and I have talked on the phone from just about everywhere. Never has the sound of her voice, that calm hello, not put me at ease. She answers on the second ring, and instantly all of my muscles and veins relax. In a recent session together, I'm telling her about the furniture shopping my boyfriend and I have just finished doing. Yeah, it's really nice because we have really similar tastes. That's wonderful. I know when my husband and I first got married, it was so wonderful creating a home together. Yeah, that's great. She told me. Next, she tells me about her and her husband going to Paris. Yeah, for his job. Sometimes he just scoops me up and we go for a few weeks. It's so nice. Great. Wonderful. Not only do I know she has a husband, he might be French, or at least employed by French people. This is information that I can work with. But why now, though? Why did Margaret tell me this now? What test have I passed? What maturity have I shown? Maybe for a second she forgot our roles, and we just became two strangers. Two friends, talking about our day, our husbands, our homes, our lives.